Alright, what is up, everybody? I'm gonna talk about today my Meps experience. If you don't know what Meps is, it's well, I don't really well, it's okay. It's a place to go to qualify to enlist in the US military. So they basically give you all these like little tests and not exams, so like it's like psychological tests. You take either your ASVAB, just stuff you like, duck walk, stuff like that. But I'm gonna talk about my experience because I recently enlisted into the US Army 3 months ago, and I'm actually getting ready to ship for you guys who don't know. So that's basically why my channel's been lacking content from here and there. Just trying to spend my time having as much fun as possible out fishing, because that's something that I really enjoy doing. So I'm like fishing every day now, so it's kind of giving me like it's taking up a lot of my time. But I'm gonna try to keep this probably as short as possible. So, well, and it's detailed, but alright, so the day I'm supposed to go to Meps, I call my recruiter. I was just like, yeah, make sure everything's going fine, he ends up telling me that the driver of the bus or whatever to take me over to the hotel before you go to Meps, it's apparently broke down, and so they couldn't meet me at the recruiter station. So we waited for like another hour, and my recruiter ended up taking me to the Meps station. So we ended up going over there, and I got there like probably later than everybody else did, because I was like one of the last few people to show up at the hotel. So you get a roommate and stuff, so you sit there, you go through like all these rules that you can and cannot do. Like they tell you not to use the pool because of when you go take your hearing test and stuff at Meps. No drugs, no alcohol the night before, because they're gonna breathalyze you at Meps anyway and test you for drugs, like piss testing and everything. So they basically just tell you all these rules, and they give you your card key to get into your room, and you don't really know who your roommate is until you really get in there, so you two get assigned in the same room. My guy was pretty cool. I got roommated with he's a Cav Scout, so he was trying to become a Cav Scout, and I think he was also offered something for a satellite engineer that he was thinking about doing, but he ended up just picking Cav Scout because he thought it'd be like more interesting to do. Won't be as boring, but so you get like a ticket, and they like give you a meal or something like that. My meal wasn't that great, I can say. It wasn't like really good food, but it was pretty good food. The hotel we were at was pretty nice. The next morning though, we'd get up at 4 o'clock, and I didn't fall asleep till around like 12. My roommate didn't fall asleep until like 2 o'clock, and we had to be up at 4. And we had to be out the lobby at 4:15. So he's sitting there watching TV all night. Jupiter Ascending, I think, was on, so he ended up watching that because he couldn't fall asleep. But so I fell asleep, passed out. I couldn't sleep through just about anything. So he went to bed, I guess a little way later than I did. So he ended up getting. I was kind of scared to wake him up, honestly, in the morning, because we had to be he's like, get me up at like 3:45, that way we're not late. I was like, all right, cool, man, I got you. So I was like, yo, seeing it, because I know I'm a deep sleeper. I was like telling him like, wake me up if I didn't get up. So I ended up getting up really easy, probably because I knew what was going on. I'm gonna have a big day the next day. So I tried to get him up. ever. So I just got ready. I was like, he's not getting up. So I just got ready, and I decided just, you know, nut up, shut up. So I just like grabbed him, like fucking like just shook him really hard. But kind of woke up, kind of like scared him, I guess, because I wasn't expecting that. So anyway, so you get up, go to the lobby, you get breakfast or whatever, and our breakfast was, we were told not to eat the eggs, like protein stuff, so we didn't have like, because when we take our piss, we don't want any like extra protein in our piss or something for a reason, and then we're told like not to masturbate the night before, so you don't have any of that protein fibers from your sperm getting into your piss. So then they have to like test you all over again, and it's a big hassle. So there's some skeptical kids like, don't eat eggs, don't eat the bacon, you know, don't eat anything. I ended up actually eating the eggs and the bacon. My crew told me not to eat the eggs or beat off the night before, but I ended up eating the eggs, and I ended up being fine. Probably because I didn't eat like a shit ton of them. I just ate like a portionable amount. Definitely. But then they had, apparently they're supposed to have waffles, but they weren't having it for, I guess, the applicants for the Army and the Navy and all the branches, Marines, Air Force, stuff like that, National Guard, Coast Guard. But they definitely, they said that the waffles or something were like not for us, but for the actual guests of the hotel that actually pay, because we were sitting there, you know, on government money. But which called, so then they line us all up, read us all these other rules about what to do, get on the bus or whatever, how to carry our bags, make sure we don't have any knives, guns, drugs, you know, stuff that you want to take into a government building. So they, you know, we weren't allowed to have our phones, well, we weren't on us, and we weren't allowed to be like making phone calls. We actually had to go, we can't make any phone calls inside the building or anything like that, so we had to go outside to make a phone call. But it's like a really long process at Meps, so it's like longest day ever, because it just sucks. Like, they're just sitting there, I'd suggest just talking to the people that you're around, because you're really not gonna have anything to do. We weren't allowed to have our phones on us or anything for security reasons, but kids ended up having their phones on them anyway and using them. I think as long as no one was making calls inside, we were fine. But we had to put all our bags on one side of the room. We had to get our eyes checked. Hearing test was kind of weird. I thought I was failing it, because I was trying to decide if my mind was beeping or like just like playing tricks on me or whatever, where the thing was actually beeping, because the thing gets so quiet. So you do that, and then it was just crazy, like just like how much they pack into one day. But you're like 4 o'clock in the morning, you're like starting to do all this stuff. So we ended up, by the time after I actually got this was like the first time I got my blood drawn was at Meps, so that was unique, because I never had my blood drawn. I thought it was gonna like hurt, because the needle was like, I don't know, like a millimeter thick. Like, I was like, damn, that thing's a big needle. like about it. It's just like, alright, he put it in my arm. It didn't really hurt at all. It felt like a little pinch. Yeah, they couldn't find one of my veins in my right arm, so they ended up using my left. So they took out, I don't know how much blood they take out, but it wasn't a lot. They don't take out a lot of blood. And then after they do that, you are to go sit on a bench, and this is getting ready to go take our piss test and everything. So they basically, this older guy, some old doctor, well, that's what I had, was just sitting on a stool. He told us to walk in and just, zip down, whip your dick out, and then turn to the right, like at a 45-degree angle, face him, so he could see all you guys' junks. And he's just like, alright, like, let it loose, fill up your cup, blah blah blah. If you if you have any more left, then piss off into the urinal. You need to fill it up to a certain point. Me, I guess I'm comfortable with pissing around other people and having some guy stare at me, so no homo. But what you call it? So I just, just went, filled my cup up, gave it to him. It was a really confusing process. Like, you say yes sir, no ma'am, like no sir, yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am. So you're doing all that stuff, and then after you fill your thing up, we went into this room for physical, where we sat with all these guys on the bench. It's probably like 15 guys I had with me. But they tell us to take your shoes off or whatever, and then we got our height, and that was it. And we sat back, and our blood pressure, and then after that, one of the doctors would call us in, give us a whole physical, probably not your average, sports physical, because I don't remember one time getting a sports physical where they had to tell me to bend over, spread my cheeks, look at my asshole. So I was surprised my guy could even see my asshole. I got a hairy ass, but so he gave me a check. They ask you, like, because I have a little bit of back knee. Like, yeah, I found out if you have like too much back knee, they cannot let you in for some crazy reason. But luckily, I was just like, yeah, it's about as much as I ever get. So they're like, all right, cool, you're good. Face acne, have a little bit there, but I was good. So got cleared on all that stuff, and I had surgery on my arm. Well, I had like some sort of like birthmark where I had to get it removed, and so I had to get like all that paperwork checked out. So it ended up being fine with that too. Even though I didn't get an airborne on my contract, they ended up giving me an airborne physical anyway, which was great because I'm an infantry, 11 X-ray. Well, infantry crew, I'm not infantry. Tell you, pass the AIT. But so after you do that, they tell you to put your underwear back on. You go through all these questions like, do you do this like drug? Have you ever tried marijuana? Do you ever smoke cigarettes? And basically, you just tell them the truth. Well, for me, I was telling them the truth because I've never smoked weed, or I don't really drink or anything. So, or smoke tobacco. I've never done that. So I was pretty clean. I didn't really have to lie or anything. So, you go through that, and then they tell you just put your underwear back on, and then don't put your clothes on, and then you go out and sit on a bench, and they have Step Brothers playing, and I'm sitting out there with about maybe 15, 20 guys just chilling in our underwear, cold ass room, no shoes, no socks, just underwear. Mine's pretty loose, so I'm kind of like just hanging everything out, but it was uncomfortable at first, but then you just kind of chill because everybody's just like exposing yourself. But I mean, I feel like if you cannot do that in a room with a bunch of guys, like maybe you shouldn't be like in the military or whatever. So it was weird at first, but then you just get used to it. You're like, oh, whatever, everybody's here, no one's trying to grab my junk. But it was pretty cool. I mean, no homo, it was not cool. But say we were watching Step Brothers, and we're sitting there all there for like in our underwear for like over an hour basically. I watched the entire Step Brothers movie, so sitting there, so however long that was, that's how long I was in there. And then at the end, after everybody had their physicals, they lined us up, and we had to do like these little like walks and stuff, like walk on our heels. They like, oh, it's like, tell us if anything hurts, let us know, we'll help you out. And from what I've heard and been told is that that's like their trick to disqualify you. So you just keep quiet. You feel like a little pain. Like walking on your heels actually hurts. Like out of all the guys that I was talking to there, they're like, yeah, it hurt a little bit. Like, but we're not gonna like bitch about it. So that way they're gonna be like disqualify us for like, because we can't walk on our heels. But So basic after you know, doing the heels and stuff, they told us to kick our legs back, make sure all the joints are working properly, and then they end up sending us to, okay, then when we finished passing or whatever, I was kind of worried about duck walk for some reason because I injured my knees back when I was lifting at school. I was actually maxing out, and I thought I tore my meniscus or something, but ever since I did fuck my knee up, it was from doing too much weight. Yeah, I just never felt the same. But so I was just worried about duck walks, which was easy. Oh, sorry. But really, after that, it was just you do all. I think, yeah. After that, it's just a bunch of waiting. You just go give your paperwork to the recruiter in the office, and then he gives you some more stuff to fill out, a little survey or whatever while you wait. And I ended up having something to do. Oh yeah, you go to your background check. Yeah, we went to get our background checked. So after we got our background check, they'd ask us all these other questions, if you if any of this stuff is wrong, please tell us. If you lie, it's gonna be you can get jailed for 10 years with a $125,000 fine for lying on your background check. So to scare you, I guess that's what my recruiter told me. But he just told me if anything's wrong on there, just say it's correct and I'll fix it. But when I got there, I was just it said I was 17 because I previously tried enlisting into the reserves back when I was a junior in high school. So I already had stuff on file being 17, so I had to change that because I was 18 when I enlisted. So yeah, so it was that had to be changed, and I said something about my sister's old address. But then my crew's oh well, that one's kind of made me a pain. He's kind of mad at me for that one because it kind of delayed me. But really, what was delaying me was the confirmation of a on the being fixed on my background, because they didn't check my recruiter faxed it to him, they just never checked. So I had to call him up and then go through all that just to make sure that thing was in. And then basically you just get at the end, it's just a bunch of fingerprints. If you die or something like that, you have your money go to a certain person. If I die, I have I guess my GI Bill goes to my mom for funeral funds or something like that. My mom has all that money to control. And my last paycheck, I picked it to go to my brother. Even though I think I should just give it to my sister. Which is one thing to say, but that's another story. But yeah, then you get sworn in, you take the oath. Honestly, I actually went to Meps the day before I graduated high school, so it was a busy 2 days. I actually missed my senior graduation practice because I went to Meps, which honestly I didn't really care too much when I graduated. It was kind of a whoa, I graduated high school sort of thing, so that's gone. So I feel more proud of enlisting, signing my contract, and swearing my oath in. So swearing in. But yeah, that's my Meps experience. You know, oh, I want to have a Q&A, so if you stuck through this whole video, decide to watch it, you know, definitely leave your questions in the description below, and in my next video, I will answer them. Well, probably a week later video, I will answer the questions from the Q&A. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright, peace out.